There's a secret most men never learn. Women rarely say what they mean, but they always show what they want. The problem? You've been taught to listen to her words when the real message is in her body, her timing, her silence. She won't tell you she wants you, but her eyes will pause. Her tone will soften. Her presence will shift. And if you don't see it, you'll miss the window. Worse, you'll break the tension with words that make her feel like she's in control again. And once she feels that, the energy's gone. Most men think women need to be convinced, but high-value men know this truth. A woman who truly wants you leaks it, in glances, in proximity, in the way she breaks her own rules around you. If you know how to spot these signs, you never chase. You respond with stillness and strength. Because when you see clearly, you stop falling into attraction traps and start moving with precision. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to recognize when a woman wants to sleep with you without ever needing her to say it out loud. Number 1, her eyes speak before her words. You feel it before you see it. Her eyes pause on you longer than they should, not with the wide-eyed innocence of a girl in awe, but with the focused curiosity of a woman choosing. The moment lasts just long enough to make you question it. Then it's gone, but something shifted. This is the first signal. Women don't make eye contact the way men do. For men, it's confrontation. For women, it's selection. If her glance holds just a beat longer, if her gaze returns after looking away, if she holds your eyes while everyone else in the room disappears, it's not politeness. It's heat wrapped in control. She won't smile right away. That's too obvious. What she wants is to see if you'll notice, if you'll break the silence, if you'll flinch. Because the man who catches her eyes and doesn't collapse is dangerous. That kind of man speaks without moving his mouth, and that's who she's watching for. There's more. Watch for dilation, a slight widening of her pupils. It's subconscious, a biological response to arousal. She doesn't control it. Her body is reacting before her brain is caught up. Stillness is key. When she feels attraction, she slows down. Her blinking becomes softer. Her breath deepens. She leans back but keeps her gaze forward. These are instinctual feminine reactions, unrehearsed, unfiltered. She may look away quickly, not out of disinterest, but because the intensity of her attraction surprises her. Her eyes are negotiating something her words aren't ready to admit. You'll hear her speak normally, but she scans your face while she does it. She studies your reactions, your posture. She's decoding you while pretending not to care. It's not what she says, it's when she says nothing. You might ask a question and she won't answer right away. Not because she's unsure, but because she wants to see how you react to hesitation. Every delay is a test. Every pause is a message. And if you're impulsive, you'll miss it. You'll rush in to fill the gap. You'll try to impress, to close, to force chemistry. But the man who watches back without breaking the moment, he becomes the flame. Because when a woman looks at you with that stillness, what she's doing is offering the first layer of surrender. She's saying, I see you, and asking, will you hold what I'm not yet ready to say? If you flinch, she resets. If you hold, she deepens. This is where attraction begins, not in touch, not in talk, but in the eye. The gaze is ancient. It predates language. It bypasses logic. It touches the limbic system, the emotional brain, where words don't matter but meaning is immediate. Most men never last long enough in that gaze. They get excited, they break it, they talk too soon. But if you hold it just a second longer than comfort allows, you win. Because she will blink, she will look away. And in that moment, she'll feel something she hasn't felt in a long time. Maybe he's the one with the power. And once she feels that, everything else opens. Number 2, she creates physical proximity. She doesn't walk straight to you, she drifts, like smoke, like instinct. You're not sure how she ended up that close, but now you feel her in your space. That's not an accident. When a woman wants to be touched, she doesn't say it. She moves into reach. She'll lean in just slightly when you speak, even when there's room to stay back. Her knee brushes yours, then stays. Her shoulder lingers a beat too long when she passes. Her presence gets louder without words. Women speak through proximity, not directly but emotionally. And when she starts orbiting you, placing herself within your field, something primal is at work. Proximity is permission. But here's what most men miss. It's not just closeness. It's a contrast. She will move close, then pull away. She wants you to notice the shift. She wants you to miss her when she moves. And if you lean in too fast, you ruin it. Because this game is ancient. A woman who wants you near will test how you hold your distance. Can you handle her being close without trying to close the space? Can you enjoy her presence without turning it into a pursuit? She might sit near you when others are around. She'll angle her body toward you even if she's talking to someone else. Her feet will point in your direction. These aren't coincidences. These are cues. She's saying, I want you to notice me, but I want you to earn the moment I let you act on it. It's in how she adjusts her hair when she walks by. She touches her neck while standing beside you. How her voice softens when you're near, even if her words are sharp. She's inviting awareness, but the invitation is silent. If you're not grounded, you'll step over it. You'll touch too early, speak too loudly, break the field. The man who gets her is the one who notices proximity, but doesn't abuse it. He stays relaxed, anchored. He lets her orbit. And in doing so, it becomes the gravitational center. And here's the power shift. When she feels safe in your energy, without you making a move, she leans in deeper. She gets playful, bolder. She finds new reasons to be closer. Is that your jacket? She asks, already holding it. Your hands are big, she smiles, brushing hers beside them. These aren't random observations. These are probes. She's looking for your awareness, for your restraint, for your ability to lead the moment without seizing it. Because a man who can hold tension owns the outcome. You don't chase her closeness. You frame it. You hold it calmly. And the calmer you are, the more she escalates. You're not responding to her body. You're responding to her intent. And when you recognize that her presence is the first move, everything after becomes easy. Proximity is not about access. It's about permission. And permission unspoken is more powerful than any yes out loud. Let her come close. Let her brush by. Let her press into your space without breaking your center. Because when she feels your stillness in her nearness, she'll know exactly what kind of man she's dealing with. And she'll want more of that presence, because it's rare. Number 3, she teases your masculine frame. She doesn't compliment you directly. That would be too easy. Instead, she provokes. She makes side comments. She throws playful jokes. Her tone shifts between admiration and challenge, and that shift is where the truth hides. When a woman feels attraction, she doesn't reward masculinity with praise. She tests it. She pushes, pokes, and questions. But not to destroy, it's to measure, to see if what you're projecting can hold. She says, you probably say that to all the girls. But what she means is, I hope you don't. She rolls her eyes at your confidence, but never looks away. She mocks your seriousness, but leans in when you speak. This isn't disrespect. This is tension. It's her way of saying, show me you're unshakable. Because the masculine frame isn't about dominance, it's about containment. She wants to feel her emotional waves crash into your stillness. And if you can't hold her teasing without becoming reactive, you fail the test. You don't defend. You don't justify. You don't over-explain. You smile. You hold eye contact. You respond slowly, like you've seen this game before, and you enjoy it. She'll flirt by contradiction. She'll say, I'm not like most women. Then wait. She wants to know if you'll challenge that or let it pass. She wants a man who sees through the words, who reads the energy, who knows that teasing isn't conflict. It's foreplay of the mind. And here's what most men miss. They take the bait. They try to prove themselves, to clarify, to soften the blow. But all that does is dissolve the polarity. Because when a woman teases you, she's saying, make me feel safe being feminine by showing me how solid your masculinity is. This is an attraction in disguise. It's the moment she calls you arrogant, but doesn't walk away. It's when she challenges your plan, but still asks what you're doing Friday. The more grounded you stay, the more she reveals, not just interest, but surrender. And every moment you don't bite, every time you meet her sarcasm with subtle certainty, she feels it deeper. She realizes you're not like the others, not because you say it, but because you're unmoved. This is what it means to be the calm center in her emotional storm. To remain curious but not needy, present but not performative. And when you pass that test, she doesn't tease to push you away anymore. She teases because she wants to be pulled closer. Number 4, she mirrors your tempo and energy. You start noticing something strange. When you slow down, she slows down. When your tone softens, hers follows. When you shift your posture, she unconsciously mirrors it. It's subtle at first, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. This is more than rapport. This is resonance. A woman who's aligned with your energy isn't just copying you. She's syncing. Her nervous system is adapting to yours. Her mirror neurons are firing because she feels safe, attuned, and magnetized. And this doesn't happen when she's just being polite. It happens when something deeper has clicked. You'll hear it in her speech. She uses your phrases, your pace, even your sense of humor. It's not mimicry, it's embodiment. You've entered her psychological space, and now she's playing in yours. She laughs at things you haven't said yet. She finishes your sentences. She reacts before you move. Her body is no longer neutral, it's tuned in. And when you lead with stillness, her chaos quiets. That's when you know you've reached something primal. Because women mirror what they respect, what they desire, what they're trying to hold on to without fully understanding why. But here's where it deepens. She starts asking you questions in your language. She reflects your worldview. She pauses when you pause, not because she's uncertain, but because she's adapting to your emotional rhythm. That's no longer social. That's biological. She'll stop fidgeting. Her phone stays on the table. Her eye contact holds longer. Her tone softens even when her words are strong. And you, if you're alert, recognize that her body is saying something her words can't. I want to stay where this feels right. You didn't convince her, you calibrated her. That's real masculine influence. Not control, but orientation. She's no longer leading the emotional tone, you are. And her mirroring is her quiet agreement. Even in disagreement, she'll soften. She'll disagree with your content, but stay connected in tone. Her resistance loses its edge because her respect is growing. And that respect isn't based on what you said. It's how you said it. Because you didn't rise with her emotions. You held the frame. You slowed down. You gave her space without retreating. And that's what she mirrored. She's not copying you to please. She's sinking to belong. Attraction isn't always loud. Sometimes it's in the way her breath matches yours during silence, in how her laughter returns a stillness when yours does. When she starts aligning with your tempo, it's because your presence made hers feel safe to stop performing. She no longer needs to lead. She wants to follow, but not from weakness, from trust. Trust in your stillness. Trust in your direction. Trust that you don't need her chaos to feel strong. And that's the most attractive signal of all. Number 5, she breaks her own rules for you. She tells you she never dates guys she meets at parties. But now you're texting at 1 a.m. She says she doesn't normally open up quickly, but her voice softens as she tells you things she hasn't said in years. She jokes that she always keeps it casual, but her body lingers next to yours, just long enough for you to feel the weight of her contradiction. When a woman breaks her patterns, pay attention. Something primal has overridden her logic. Women live by emotional rules, social frameworks. Internal boundaries are designed to protect their image, their heart, and their rhythm. But when attraction takes over, when her body wants something her mind hasn't agreed to, she starts editing her identity in real time. Not for any man, just for the one who made her feel something stronger than fear. This isn't compliance, it's surrender. And surrender doesn't look like submission, it looks like inconsistency. You'll hear it when she says, "I don't usually do this," as she presses closer. You'll see it when she cancels plans for you without resentment. You'll feel it when her rules bend, but her respect doesn't, because she's not bending for a player. She's adapting for presence, a presence that made her feel safe enough to disobey herself. That's the key. A woman doesn't betray her own rules unless she senses a new structure, one worth shifting into. And you? You didn't ask her to change. You just held your ground. You spoke slowly. You didn't chase. You listened without trying to solve. You made her feel seen but not exposed. guided but not controlled. So she broke the rule. And when she does, she won't talk about it, but she'll show it in her availability, in her softness, in her hunger to explain away her contradiction, while hoping you don't call her out for it. This is the moment most men get too excited. They speed up, they press, they name the shift too soon. But not you. You keep steady. You let her arrive without a celebration. You make room for her new behavior without labeling it. That's how she deepens. She starts trusting her own choices around you, even when they break her previous rules. Because if you're strong enough to hold her inconsistency without judgment, she'll write a new rule around your name. Number 6, she finds reasons to be alone with you. She doesn't say it outright, but her actions shape a pattern. She creates moments where it's just the two of you. The background noise fades, the group disappears, and suddenly you're alone with her again. It's not a coincidence. She doesn't need to say, "I want you." She engineers closeness without needing to explain it. She lingers when everyone else leaves. She volunteers to help you with something trivial. She stands beside you when there's plenty of space elsewhere. And the deeper truth, she's making the space safe for intimacy to emerge. This doesn't always mean physical touch. It starts with emotional enclosure. She wants fewer eyes, less distraction, more clarity, because she can't feel your energy fully unless she removes the noise. So she carves a private moment, and watch what you do with it. This is the final signal, because it's not just interest, it's intent. She finds ways to isolate the dynamic. You step out for air, she follows. You head to the bar, she's there before you. You mention something small, and she offers to help with it later. She's not being convenient, she's being deliberate. She wants you to notice. But more than that, she wants to see if you can lead the moment without exploiting it. Because that's the paradox. She wants closeness, but she needs to feel safe. She needs to know you won't break the silence with neediness, that you won't rush the moment just because you're alone. She's offering space, not for words, but for weight. The weight of your restraint, the weight of your presence, the weight of a man who can be alone with a woman and not make it about himself. You walk slowly, she walks beside you. You say little, she listens more deeply, and the less you chase, the more she leans in. In that silence, her guard drops. Her laugh becomes real. Her sarcasm softens. Her questions go deeper, because she senses something rare. You're not here to win, you're here to feel. And that shift pulls her in further than any compliment ever could. She might touch your arm, not as a move, but as an anchor. She might brush past you, not as an accident, but as permission. She might even say, "I don't know why I trust you this fast." The answer is simple, because you didn't force it, you held it. And that kind of presence, the one that doesn't need the moment but honors it anyway, is unforgettable. She created the space, you made it sacred. That's how she knows. If she says yes later, it won't be a mistake. It'll be something her body already decided long before her words caught up. You've just seen what most men never will, not because the signs aren't there, but because they're too distracted to notice, too reactive, too eager, too focused on the outcome to feel the invitation. But you're different now. You've learned that attraction doesn't scream, it whispers. It shows itself in tension, in rhythm, in rule breaking, and in silence. It reveals itself through how a woman shifts her world without ever saying why. And the man who sees that, who holds that, becomes unforgettable. Because she doesn't want to explain herself. She wants to be read, felt, understood without effort. So here's the truth. If she feels safe breaking the rules around you, if she lingers in your stillness, mirrors your silence, follows your lead without knowing why, you don't need to ask where you stand. You already know. You're the man she doesn't forget, because you didn't chase her body. You calibrated to her signal. You held your ground. Now let that version of you sink deeper. The one who says little but means everything. The one who doesn't need the moment but owns it by how he breathes inside it. Because remember, you can't have her back by waiting. You have her back by never needing her again.